reviewing hundreds of Career Talent interview responses, one pattern is incredibly consistent. Most answers fail because they do not include the two critical elements: a clear structure and strong insight. Without both, even strong candidates will fail to stand out. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Caitlin, an Oxford MBA and admissions consultant who has helped hundreds of students win interviews and offers to attend all of the top business schools in the world. Kira places you in a constrained environment by design. Usually, you have limited time, a fixed prompt, and one opportunity to respond. Within those constraints, reviewers are going to learn how you prioritize information, whether you can extract meaning from an experience, and how clearly you can communicate that meaning. So ultimately, this is a test of discernment under constraint. The first gap is no structure. Many applicants will start responding to a question without making any organizational decisions. So they give an answer where there are all these ideas and they're jumping all over the place. There's no clear beginning, middle, and end. And so your reviewer is going to be left wondering what their key takeaway was. So even strong insight or content will lose its impact without good structure. The second gap is weak or missing insight. So even if you learn to structure your answer very well, it can still be a weak answer if you do not go deep enough to give us some little nugget of wisdom within it. So I have many students that learn very well how to use the frameworks to structure their responses, but they're still not A+ answers because they won't do the mental work of going deep enough to get to that little nugget of wisdom. So we have to be going deep enough to get there, or our answer is still gonna fall flat. So an A+ answer is where you can identify a realization that you had from the experience. You will then show how that realization shaped your thinking, and then you will offer the reviewer something meaningful that they can take away. Without insight, structure alone is not enough. Now, I know that it can be very hard to understand whether you have a solid insight or if it's one that's just a little bit more generic and weak. So what I'll do in just a second is I'll talk through how you can find a really good, meaningful insight, and then I will give you several examples of real, deep, meaningful insights that my students have used in their Kira responses. So when you are thinking through the experiences that you want to talk about in a Kira response, and you're choosing which one will be best for an answer, then you want to pick the one that's going to show the most about how you think or how you decide, because that's what the admissions committees are looking for. And if you get that experience right, it's a solid, really relevant experience for that question, that already is going to show that you have great judgment, because you could pick from all of these experiences. They know you have more than one. Okay, let's talk about this elusive insight that we need to get. Now, when I say insight, what we're looking for is not something generic like communication is important or teamwork matters. We have to get very specific with it. That's what's going to make it a strong insight. So we are looking for some pattern recognition that tells us about human behavior and or the way the world works. Insight almost always comes from a mistaken belief, default reaction, or internal conflict. For example, I assumed that asking for help would make me look less capable, or I assumed that I was evaluating ideas objectively. So to find a strong insight, ask yourself this question: how did this experience change the way I think, decide, or act going forward? This is what admissions committees are really wanting to hear about. Strong shifts will sound like, now I consciously blank, or this changed how I approach blank, or now I check for blank. Now I want to give you 3 examples of real, deep, meaningful insights that my students have used in their Kira answers. Number 1 is, I learned that being vulnerable and asking for help doesn't weaken your position. It often gives others the opportunity to contribute their talents and feel valued. And that ends up being good for me as well. Number 2, I learned that I have to be careful to not favor ideas simply because they come from people with backgrounds similar to mine. I have to consciously check that ideas are being promoted based on merit, not familiarity. Number 3 is, I learned that everyone has a natural negative reaction to feedback. And this is because we as humans are wired to fear social rejection. Being aware of that instinct changes how I give feedback and how I receive it. These kinds of insights tell the reviewer that you reflect deeply, that you're able to recognize patterns beyond just a single situation, and then extract meaning from an experience that you can then apply to future experiences, which is exactly what they're trying to do by teaching you knowledge in the master's program. Give you that knowledge so that you can then apply it. So it shows them in real time that you are already doing that. And that is what is going to make your answer memorable. So when you begin prepping for Kira, you need to start asking yourself these 2 questions. Was my answer very well structured? And did I give a deep, meaningful insight? Most answers that the admissions committees will see will miss one or both of these key elements. But A+ answers don't. If you want even more support with the Kira Talent Interview, then you should check out my Kira Mastery System. I'm linking to it below in the description. I designed it to take the minimum amount of time possible to achieve maximum outcomes, because you usually don't have that much time to prepare for the Kira Talent Interview. Also, I recently built an app for you to use to prepare for the Kira Talent Interview. It's called Interview, and it has many interactive games. It teaches you the frameworks, and it allows you to feel confident that you are using your limited amount of preparation time in the wisest way possible. Thank you for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.